Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to YAA Workshop. This video is going to be a longer version of the material I took out, filmed last Saturday, which was D-Day 2026. So had the 602 out there checking the projectile keyholing with that, and then after that I got out the vz.58, and then just wanted to kind of continue sighting in the 3-power micro prism, and I was pretty happy with some of the results. So you take a look at the footage, and at the end I'll have a little bit more commentary. I thought this was a pretty good first group that I circled on the right of the aiming black, and then it opened up when I corrected the groups to move it over more in towards the left, towards the center of the aiming black. Look where it's going. So here you can see
remnants from those earlier groups, but then you can see the holes from the offhand there. Just kind of all around on the paper. And probably some may have gone high or left and right, but wasn't too far off.
Well, the impression I had that I was happy with was, I think after I shot first group, I can't remember if I was shooting 4-round groups, but I was using spotting scope, and I could tell that there was this pretty tight group around the one side of the aiming black out there at 100 yards, and it was nice to see like a tight group, because I wasn't doing that great with the 602 before that. Just 5.56 ammo in a 1 in 12 twist. But this is actually, I don't know what the twist rate is. It's your basic 7.62 by 39 barrel. So those Lothar Walther barrels that Czech Point's putting in the new vz.58s. So sounds really good. So I circle that that group, and then there's a couple other shots because I made a correction, windage, trying to bring it to the left before I went and shot some more. And then at the end there, I had done some offhand shooting, a couple strings of that, and my groups, they opened up some, which is sort of an understatement, right? Because I didn't have any sling or anything. I was just kind of trying to get the chevron centered up on on the paper, try to have it be in front of the black aiming point. And I got a bunch on the paper. I wasn't too unhappy about that. My prone shooting position wasn't all that good. I forgot to bring the shooting mat, and I put down the wool blanket down on the concrete, but I was kind of near the end of it. But I didn't try to use a sling, so I just I was just bracing myself on on the sandbag there. But this is a 3-power scope, so that helped with the magnification and seeing downrange. Here's something I forgot to mention. So I had a 3-power microprism, and when I was in sort of a standing position, which I'm almost like now, although seated in a chair, the eye relief looked pretty good. But then when I became in the prone, my head was back here, which is kind of low, and I was having a tough time finding the correct eye relief that was relaxed enough to take the kind of shots I like to when I'm doing a well-aimed shot. Worked out pretty good. I mean, the groups were fairly tight, but I did notice that I think I will, I'm going to move this, I think, more forward because my head's going to be further back. Well, let me think through that again. Well, actually, I don't know. Like maybe when I'm standing, it's far enough back. I didn't actually try it since I was back from the range, but when I was in the prone, it felt like when I lift my head up, it was kind of further back, and I had to move my head forward where I wasn't correct. I think when I was in the prone, I remember having the feeling that I should move the scope further forward. I guess when it was closer, saw too much of the black around the field of view for that had the reticle in it. But then when I'm more upright like now, I get to here, and I have I think a proper sight picture field of view. So if I needed it to move forward, maybe I was getting too close when I was prone. But I also had the feeling that I thought I need a cheek riser, because I kind of thought I was kind of back further. Let's see. So for people new to the VZ58, it's a short stroke gas piston. There's a little, like a piston comes out of here and it hits the top of the bolt carrier here, and that's what brings the bolt to the rear. So there's like gas piston. Let's see. Do it off camera, lest it look like something instructional. So, and voila, there's a something that's staying together. There's a little return spring to kind of retract the piston, but when the gases go through up front here, they push the piston out back here, and so that's kind of what that looks like. I had the magazine out, so I'll just pull that back a little bit, and if I could like see I'm pushing on it just a little bit, so you can kind of see how it connects. You pull that back. Well, now it's cocked. Let's see if I can run this bolt again for those of you that are kind of new to this. So I get some light on it. So I'm pulling it back, and about here I get something like a greater resistance, and you pull back the rest of the way here. And when you let the bolt go forward, you can kind of feel it get lighter from here on out. So when you're loading these things, you just pull it back and then let go. And that's the best way you can to get the most force to strip the round off the out of the magazine most properly. So I was just kind of taking a look at the surplus magazine with the bolt back. These vz.58s have a bolt hold open feature that engages after the last round is shot and last case ejected. So with the vz.58, you always got to make sure you pull all the way back and let go, because there's two springs in here. One's cocking the striker or linear hammer, and the other one's responsible for the return of the whole bolt carrier assembly. I don't know if I described that exactly right, but halfway back you'll feel more resistance, and you may notice that and kind of slow down, and if you let go, won't have the full amount of force to pull a round out of the magazine now. And I thought I was doing that the whole time, or each time, but when I was using this older surplus magazine, the round didn't come right out, and I had to take the magazine out, let the cartridge fall out, and I reloaded it and put it back in. And then let's see what else. I also had some of these 20 rounders out there. I think I was shooting those. Can't remember if I had taken this mount off after last time I shot it. If I did, then the repeat zero was kind of like off by like maybe, it was off by a couple inches out of a I guess a target about that big. I was kind of off to the side, maybe an inch and a half, something like that. But that wasn't too bad. If I'm gonna, kind of count on it, I would just leave that on and then clean the firearm around it. I'm not sure if you can get the. I'll have to take a look at that. Like take the top cover. This is the top cover here. Covers the rear portion of where the bolt carrier turns back into. Anyway, appreciate you watching. It's just a simple video about my outing with the vz.58 recently, and on D-Day 2026. All right, thanks for watching.